What's up, everybody? This is Joey from Garage Gym Junkies, and right now I have a special guest, Brayan Lopez, influencer, fitness addict as well, and family. So we have a bunch of questions I wanted to ask this young man here, and dive into his world, how we got into things. So first off, I just want to ask you, let's just get into some background. What first got you into fitness? And when did you realize you wanted to make this a career?
Well, I've been working out for like 12, 13 years. I think what got me into fitness was like mostly came from my family, like my dad and my mom, because they used to go to the gym. They had me at a young age, so I grew up watching them go to the gym and everything, right? So I think that was the main thing.
Yeah.
And then yeah, just like moving here to the States, I had more time. I had no friends or anything, so I was like,
I remember those days.
I had to look for something to like spend time on, and that's probably the best thing, I got really into the gym when I got here to the United States, because like I said, I had no friends, so I was like, I'm gonna log in the gym, and I started taking it more seriously, like watching YouTube videos on how to do this, how to do that, how to diet, blah blah, and yeah, that's how I got it started, and I didn't know it was gonna be my career, to be honest. I was working out because I liked it, and it was fun for me, and it just became part of my life, like a routine. But then it was years after, I met some friends that they're influencers, like content creators as well, and they just got me into it. They were like, "You have potential. Why don't you start posting on TikTok?" Because they used to do it back then. We kind of like started at the same time, but yeah, they were like, "You should like post on TikTok at least and see how you do. I'm pretty sure you have potential. You're gonna do well." And they got me into it. I was like, "Okay, let me start doing it."
I mean, I have to admit, back when you started, I mean, first off, I have to say, I didn't even know that being an influencer was actually like a paid career, especially like in the fitness industry. I thought you had to be like a personal trainer, a coach, a bodybuilder, a powerlifter, whatever the hell. I remember I told you back in the day when you were living with us and stuff. I'm like, what? I'm like, can you actually make money doing this? Like, can you actually? And yeah, clearly you can, and you can do very well and live the life that you want to live, how you want to live it, and just keep on growing. And it's amazing. Like, I mean, seeing where you were at with like like the supplement industry, obviously the clothing industry, which I even have a lot of that as well. I mean, it's a great brand, Youngla. Check it out. It's really good stuff, especially for workout gear. I love it. I wear it all the time. They fit midgets, so that's pretty awesome. But I mean, just seeing how you've grown is been astronomical, and I'm impressed. I just never had a clue. I mean, my old ass, I had never had an idea that this would actually could be something. Yeah. And seeing where you went from to now is impressive. So now, going on to more training and mindset, what's your current like workout routine, and how has that evolved from back when you first started, when you were a stick, to now you're a big boy and you grew like 6 inches since then? I mean, how did you evolve it, and how did you get inspiration to get into like the bodybuilding-esque motif that you're in right now?
Yeah, well, it has changed a lot since I started, to be honest. It's like trial and error,
Yeah.
I've been like trying different splits and see which one works best for me. Right now I'm working out, I would say 6 times a week, 5 to 6, it depends on how tired I feel. If I feel like I need a rest day, like an extra rest day, then I'll do like 5 days a week. But yeah, basically right now I just do push-pull legs, or I try to hit like the muscles, like every muscle part, like twice a week at least. Especially with my weak points, shoulders, arms, and legs.
I was just about to ask, I'm like, do you ever put any like right now I'm putting a little bit more specific emphasis on my back. I have big legs, but like so now I'm just trying to get into bodybuilding. I have Coach Dan Houghton over at Iron Lair, phenomenal coach, phenomenal gym. We just checked it out this weekend, but I'm focusing on more of the aesthetic stuff now, because I was focusing more on power building, powerlifting, till I tore my shoulder, and then so now I'm focusing on other things so I can survive and continue lifting. But I always have to focus on little areas. Like I notice I need a little bit more here, so I superset in my program that he gives me. That he gives me to add on a little more here. Focus on little areas like my waist, this, that, and the other. I'm assuming you do the exact same thing.
I do the same thing as I said. like I don't mind skipping my strong points like chest and back because they just I guess it's genetics. Right? They just even if I go a month
like me with legs and calves.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah,
that happens to me with my chest and my back. They just grow like fast.
Yeah.
But when I try not to skip legs or like arms and shoulders because it's really hard to like make them grow. So yeah, usually
unless you're me.
Unless you're him, yeah. It's all genetics,
That is my freak thing.
I'm
5'4.5" and don't take that half away from me, and everything squishes down in, and it gets big this way. So I grow this way, and other people grow like this, and well, I wasn't that one, so.
Yeah. But yeah, legs, especially calves, that's genetics for sure. Because I've met, I don't know, every Asian guy that I've met. Have you seen them?
Yeah.
They have big as calves. They're huge.
And they separate so well, and you can see like the inner line go up and how it looks like two sets of boobs on both legs. It's beautiful.
And when you ask them like what's the calf routine, sometimes they'll be like, oh, I don't even work out. It's just genetics.
Or I just walk around the house on my tippy toes. Yeah. That's how I actually started. You know, back when I was ice hockey and wrestling when I was a kid.
Actually work?
Yeah. I mean, back in the day, there was this old magazine. It was called East Bay. It was an East Bay catalog, and some older folks will remember this. It had baseball, football supplies, all that kind of stuff. They had these shoes that literally, on the front sole of the shoe is like this little platform. And so you're walking like a high heel, but it's a big round platform, and all you're doing is walking around. It's like a regular shoe, but you're walking around, but it's making you walk on your tippy toes. And that's all I did. I got them from East Bay back in the day when I was a little kid, and I walked around the house all the time, outside, everything. And that's how I prepared, because I needed my calves so much for pushing off for hockey, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So that was my thing, man.
I started doing that, just walking on my tippy toes.
It works. It works. Now this is where I'm having the hardest time, and it's a lot easier for you because you just have a much better mentality for it. Whereas my Italian heritage just says eat carbs, eat carbs. So on nutrition, what is your approach to nutrition, and how do you just keep yourself focused and dialed in? Because that is going into bodybuilding right now. That is probably my weakest areas, and I'm getting better at it week after week. Thank God I have a good coach for that. But how do you focus on the nutrition part, and how do you keep yourself dialed in all the time?
It's just, as I said, it just becomes like part of your routine. You get used to it, but it's still hard sometimes, man. To be honest, I try to be. The thing is, like with social media, like people know me for like my aesthetics and being lean all the time. Yeah. So it's part of my job, so I have to do it no matter what. Yeah. So whenever I see myself getting a little bit fat, or like abs, they don't look as like defined as they used to be. Mm-hmm. It's just like, right away I'm like, I have to get leaner.
Starts clicking stuff off.
I have to eat like cleaner, maybe drop my calories a little bit more, do more cardio, because it's like part of my job, right? But at the same time, it has affected like my growth, I would say sometimes, because it's like I want to be lean all the time, but at the same time I have to. You need that time to bulk. You need the time to do a clean bulk, so you can actually put in those excess calories, that more massive amounts of protein, and have those carbs to sustain you for those longer strength training exercises and workouts. Right. Like now it's just like I have a community already, and I know they're gonna support me no matter what.
Yes.
Of course, like the content is not gonna do as well if I'm like a little bit fatter, because like as I said, they know me for my aesthetics, but at least I have a community that supports me now, and they still want to see me like bulking, cutting. They're still gonna support. But at first it was hard because I was lean for like, let's say 3-4 months, and then you cannot be eating like 2,200 calories just like all year round, because you're not gonna grow. You're gonna stay the same, right? And I was afraid to like, add my calories, because I was like, I don't want to get fat, I don't want to lose followers, maybe my engagement it's not gonna be as well. So that was bad for like, I would say the first 2 years that I did social media, but now it's just like I have to do it.
What is your current calorie intake right now?
Right now it's like 3,500.
Sheesh. And I'm assuming you're on a bulk phase right now.
That's like a lean bulk, yeah.
Yeah, that's your lean bulk. And then what do you do for, so how much of a calorie deficit do you go?
I usually just go like 300. Before I used to, because I was, as I said, I was
learning too as well.
What works for me. So I remember the first time I cut, I did like I was eating under 2,000 calories. And for my height and my body weight, that was yeah, I was starving basically. I got really lean, but I lost a lot of muscle as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really skinny.
And it's really hard to put the protein in at that point because the protein still has calories anyway.
Yeah.
And then
I was just starving, to be honest. You know, I lost a lot of weight, but I was losing muscle and weight and like everything. You know,
so you're achieving one goal of dropping numbers on a scale. Which one thing that Dan refocused me in on was stop worrying about the scale. We're gonna get down to that because down to like the last 6, 4, 3, 2 weeks and a couple days. We're gonna get that off. It's about staying at a consistent level, but it's all about the appearance, and that's the one thing I'm, benching 405, squatting big numbers, pulling all this. I can't do that anymore as I'm, going through this phase, trying to lean up and everything because you're just trimming off all of that extra, and you had all that extra weight to help you move the weight. So that's one thing I'm always having a mental block is. It's not about the numbers, Joey. Just focus on the goal that you have, and that's one thing I was always impressed with throughout all of your development was seeing you go from this to this. Just growing up. Yeah.
Appreciate it, man.
So now, of course. For industry and trends, what fitness trends and myths drive you crazy right now? Because there's so many things going on. I mean, there's people out there. Supposedly, this is their morning daily routine. They take a bowl of ice and water and they shove their face in it and all that silly stuff. What that drives me nuts because that's fake because they're supposedly getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning. And I'll tell you what, I get up at 4 in the morning.
You do it.
I get up at 4 in the morning, but I don't shove my face into a bowl of ice every morning. I don't have time to set up a camera, put out a bowl of ice water, and shove my face into it and think that's going to wake me up. It's what bothers you that on the trends now?
That doesn't bother me that much because I know probably I wouldn't say it's fake.
Yeah.
But I would say he's not gonna do that every single day. Maybe once a week.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He does stuff for views and all that, and I get it. It doesn't bother me. What bothers me the most is all these kids and everything talking about steroids.
Oh my God!
How that's the only way to grow and you've seen those guys, right? I don't want to say any names, of course.
And for the record, so I've been on testosterone for years now. Through the VA, they thought I had blood cancer. I mentioned this back in a video before. And so then that's when they put me on it. I was never on anything my entire life. I was actually this size most of my life. I just, in varying phases, peaks and hills and valleys. That is the only that is the only thing that sustains me just from getting fat. Just because my mood got depressed, everything, my health started going down. Then they did blood work and they found out I'm super low. Happens with age. So I was around 38 when it happened, and that's when but you don't want to be doing this stuff when you're young.
Exactly.
And especially if you ever want to, get married and have kids, all that kind of stuff, because you're going to screw yourself up. Plus, you have no idea the future long-term risks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of risk when you take steroids and all that. And the thing is it's okay if let's say bodybuilding is your career. Let's say you have to take them because there's no way you're gonna be a pro by just being natural. But the thing is these people glorify steroids and they make kids on TikTok and everything.
At least the pros they're open about it and
they're open about it. And you talk about
they're not
steroids.
fake. They're not showing any fake. You got to take these compounds to compete, and I get that. And at least you're transparent. Transparency is the key.
Yeah.
You're never lying. He's legitimately natty. You won't even take an amino acid shot pre-workout, because it's
Not like needles.
So my dude is fully natty, but I appreciate the folks out there, the real pros out there that are actually out there and say, hey, this is what we have to do in this era for to get to that level and sustain it. And obviously they're being medically monitored, they're getting blood work, they're eating right, they're doing cardio, they're doing everything that they're supposed to do right, and they're managing it properly. Whereas kids are just let's just...
Yeah, they don't even know what they're taking or anything. They just see this guy doing it online.
They don't even know the quality of what the hell they're taking.
And then you see all these people with super bad acne, side effects, and everything, and be like,
I can name a
yeah. That's the thing I don't like, because my platform is I I don't mind people taking steroids or anything like that. As I said,
I had no judgment against that.
They compete and everything, and it's good when they do it the right way. They have coaches and everything. But like these kids that just glorify, let's say, like trend and all these.
Oh,
like,
God, yeah,
and all that shit.
It's just so
like,
toxic.
Yeah, because people, as kids growing up, like watching them, they'd be like, okay, that's the only way to like grow.
Yeah.
And if I want to be, let's say, a content creator, an influencer, I gotta do the same thing as these guys.
Yeah.
Take steroids, otherwise I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna grow. And of course, natural is gonna take time, but you can do it as well. I've been working out for like 11 years.
Damn straight.
It's just like I've enjoyed it, and I don't need that to like.
Freak up your life, man. I get it. No, and you're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
You're doing the right thing. So right now, what's been the biggest challenge that you faced in your fitness career and influencer career now? Like, for social media and also in fitness. What is that biggest challenge?
For social media, I would say what I mentioned before, like the dieting part, staying lean all year round. That's probably has been the hardest part about mine. Because I realized at some point it just stopped my growth. Like I was getting, bigger slowly, but I was getting bigger, right?
Yeah.
And then once I started doing social media, I see all these people online super lean. I'm like, I have to be this lean, because as I said, I don't want to lose followers. I don't want to mess up my engagement. So I have to stay lean all year round, and it's not good for you because to be that lean, you have to be on a deficit.
Yeah.
And then
It's not healthy to do it year round.
It's not healthy. Yeah, it's not healthy. And
you have to give your body a chance to recover back up, replenish all those vitamin nutrients. Like one thing, I was amazed when I started with the coaching. With that, the amount of supplementation is ridiculous. And the more I looked into it, I trusted the man, so I got it all. And I looked into each and every one of them. It's all for a purpose. Mm-hmm. Supporting gut health, supporting your digestive health, supporting your metabolism, helping your muscles relax, like for magnesium. All the vitamin C, all these different things, just to help you replenish, sustain during this really traumatic body morphosis, phase that you're going through when you go from big lean down to lean, and that's there's a lot of things into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's also probably the hardest part, I would say, just like the diet part.
All right, now we're going to go into a few other little topics here. So, real quick, what's your favorite pump up song that you put that one on and that just clicks and it's like game freaking on, man?
The song, to be honest, I have a lot of songs. I cannot think of just one because it's like I have a playlist, but let's say I listen to one song for like a week and then I find another one that it's even better. There's a lot of them, but I would say all the TikTok aesthetic songs, they just get me really hyped.
Yeah, they actually do. It's surprising.
Yeah, I don't have just one specific song, but it's just a lot of them. They all, to be honest, they all sound almost the same. They have the same beat and everything.
Because you're choosing that genre and that you're into.
Yeah. But it's I would say the funk music, Brazilian funk's really good, or what is it? Yeah, these aesthetic.
I'm even into and I'm Italian, but the reggaeton. That stuff, it's got a beat. It just gets you going. I don't know. It gets you happy too. It gets you pissed, Yeah. So you've spent a lot of days, weeks, months, years inside the gym, all over the country. You're actually going to LA again tomorrow for a photo shoot. What is the worst gym fail that you've actually have ever seen in person?
What do you mean by gym fail?
Well, you're seeing a guy, he puts on way more weight than he needs to on a squat rack or something like that, and as soon as he steps back, he tips over. Or a guy that's deadlifting, he's using straps, the straps break and he flies. Is there something?
Yeah, actually, that happened. I think it was around 2 years ago. I went to Chicago for a photo shoot. I was with a different supplement company back then. It was we were doing a photo shoot, but it was a powerlifting gym. So there was a lot of powerlifters and guys just deadlifting a lot of weight. So there was this guy. He was skinny, but he was strong as hell. He was doing 6 plates, but he looked super skinny, but he was strong. But I knew when I watched him his deadlift, I knew he was just something was gonna happen on him, right? Because he was just lifting so much weight and he couldn't get it up. I think he upped the weight. I don't know how much it was like deadlifting, but the thing is like, you know, he was right next to me, and he was gonna do a set. He was like doing like a PR, just like one rep, and then he just he got it up, right?
Yeah.
He kept the weight, and then he was like shaking, right? And then when he dropped the weight, he just passed out. You've probably seen that on like.
I think I have seen that.
Yeah, but I saw it in real life, and the thing is like, you know, I saw it coming. I was like, this guy is just going
Poor
way,
guy. Yeah, he was going balls to the wall, and he's probably amped up on freaking caffeine pre-workout.
I know, and I
And
just didn't know what to. Cause
The blood rush into the head. He cut off circulation. He probably locked out his knees. And when you lock out your knees, I know that's from the military. We used to see people literally tip right over while we're in while we're in parade rest or in attention and in the heat, and you would just see people just topple over if we're out there too long. I mean, you would literally watch it.
I was the only one right next to him. I mean, there was another guy, but he was like farther away, right?
Damn.
I just didn't know what to do because I was like,
You're more in shock.
I was looking at him, and he was like, he had the straps, right? But then one came off, and the other one just was like holding onto the bar, right? And I was like this. I just didn't want to touch him, but you know, I saw the other guy just like coming over, and we tried to help him. But yeah, I was like, that was probably the
Hopefully he was okay.
Yeah, no, he was fine. He was just laughing after, but that was funny because I saw it coming. I was like, this guy's gonna pass out because he tried like 3 times, like couldn't get it up, and when he did, he just like kept it up, like up. It was like shaking.
My God.
So yeah.
Now, to close everything out, and first off, thank you. To close everything out, there, you know, I noticed it on Friday when we went to Fit Club VA in South Hill. You know, you get asked, you're being stopped wherever we go. Anytime we've ever gone to a gym together, which has been many of times, and we have our, our family time workouts and stuff like that, people always recognize you and stop you and see you. So, part one of the question is, does it ever just get to be too much?
It depends on how they approach you, but honestly, no, I've gotten used to it, and it's actually good to be able to talk to, like followers and all that in person.
People,
know,
right?
Like, they get to know you, and it's like a different interaction than just like a DM or like online, right? They get to know who you are in real life, so it's good. Sometimes, I would say there's these like gyms that I've gone to, and then just a bunch of kids coming up to you, and they just like interrupt the workout. That's the only thing. Sometimes, they don't ask for a picture, they just, they want to have a whole conversation where you're working out. And it's like, like...
It's, I'm here,
in the gym,
I'm actually
like,
here
I don't mind,
to get something done,
taking a picture, like saying what's up, but like having a whole conversation, and then they just keep interrupting the workout. That's the only thing that I don't like sometimes.
Got it.
But it doesn't happen too often. It happens like once in a while. But.
And then lastly, because this question was actually asked while we were out there on Friday, now there's a lot of people out there that actually want to get into social media. That want to start a career like this. What would you say to them on starting a career? How would you go about starting that career, and how do you maintain it and continue to grow?
I would say, okay, the first and most important thing is to start. You have to, once you start, it's like the gym. You have to be really consistent. You know what I'm saying? Especially with like social media. Nowadays, it's so much easier to like, let's say, blow up and get followers on social media because they just keep growing and growing every single year, right? But yeah, just like everything else, is consistency. For some people, it might take, let's say, a month, 2 months, or like a year to like, get a following and grow on social media. For some people, it might take longer, or like short. It depends,
Right.
But as long as you're consistent and you find your niche, and like, you have to try a lot of things and see what works for you, right? But once you start growing, the engagement, like your engagement. I mean, I don't know how to explain it, but I would say you have to build a community, but you have to I would say find your niche and find what works for you. But you have to try a lot of things and see like and you have to do something that you like as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like for me, I tried a lot of things because I didn't know what would work for me. I was doing, as I told you in the car, I was doing gym, routines, and then diet tips, and then thirst traps, everything, because I didn't know what worked for me. But you have
what ended up working for you? Just being you.
Yeah,
like that's actually what ended up being more true to yourself.
I was gonna get to that. Yeah, of course, there's a lot of trends out there, and if you copy other people, you might probably get followers, and your video is gonna blow up as well. But you have to be yourself and be like original. You know what I'm saying? You cannot be copying. I mean, you can, let's say, hop on a trend for a one time, like, because people are doing it. But I've seen platforms, I've seen people just like copying other people, like exactly copying that person. Like doing the same content without being themselves. And then you're gonna be able to follow him, but then people don't know you for you. They just know you for the guy that is doing the same thing as this other guy. You know what I'm saying? You can take inspiration from other people. That's gonna help you to like make content and be more creative. But at the end of the day, you have to be yourself and let people know like who you are and like what I'm saying.
That's
the
truth. Yeah.
They'd be like, I know Brian.
Be true to
like,
yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So. Yeah.
And now, what do you have going on in the works? So I do know, and if you haven't checked it out, Belikan.
Oh yeah.
So what are some cool things that you got going on in the works, just privately for yourself, that you, like some new adventures?
Yeah. About like Belikan?
Yeah, I want to hear about it.
Okay, so we dropped our first drop was like a couple of months ago. So we only have like, let's say 4. No, actually we have like 3-4 designs so far. But the goal is to have
This is one.
yeah, we have the Cubans, we have the Trident, we have an angel sword, we have 2 pendants, and then the Cuban set.
Yep, got the other. I got the other set, and I got that coming in the works soon.
But yeah, we have a lot of designs. The goal is to like drop at least 2 items every month. And yeah, we have a lot of designs in the works right now.
That is awesome.
I don't want to spoil it, but yeah,
We don't mind spoilers though.
Yeah,
I mean, this is just a private conversation. It's not going to go anywhere whatsoever. No one's going to ever watch this. So.
Yeah, no, we have a lot. We have a lot of sets. Like the Cuban set, but like more unique. We have more pendants, bracelets, everything. It's just
that is badass.
It's taking time, but yeah, we stay tuned for that and just follow us on Instagram and just check out the website. It's Belikanjewlery. And yeah, we're gonna be dropping a lot of like fire stuff on the website.
Do you got anything else that you would like to share with the group? Anything that you got going on in the works?
Oh yeah, I want to say stay tuned, subscribe to the Joy's like YouTube. By the way,
yes.
This is gonna go on your YouTube, or you're gonna have like a different channel.
This is gonna go on YouTube, but
okay.
But I'm now going to actually be. So one thing I've noticed is I actually like having conversations.
Mm-hmm.
My wife always tells me I never shut the hell up. So hey. Here I am. I'm not going to shut the hell up, and I'm going to bring in a lot of cool stuff. I want to reach out to influencers that are in my area of interest. In the fitness industry. I want to interview gym owners and how they get, because I'm big into equipment. As I think you kind of know that. We got Tyler Hobson, Iron Core Press over here. We got 3 more pieces from him coming. We got Atlantis over here. We got Knowledge Explode. So there's a lot of stuff I want to talk to people about, both on the fitness industry and on the equipment industry, to get you to your goals in the fitness industry. So I want to start doing that. So it's actually going to be on YouTube. I'm going to have a whole folder for that. And it's going to be the Garage of Junkies podcast. And I do appreciate that you are literally the numero uno. You are the very first one. And I appreciate it. I love you very much, my man.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Everybody, thank you for attending. Thank you for watching. Check this man out. Check out the jewelry out. My protein.
My protein.
Young Love.
You can use code Brian for 15% on. It supports me directly, and I appreciate the support.
Thank you all very much.